It's another double feature, and today we're going to take a look at some hidden spots that some of you might not really care about. No, really, I expect this video to do poorly, but I digress. Let's get started with a place that's right in my own backyard, the Southeast Plaza. Unfortunately, I was unable to really find, well, anything on the Southeast Plaza, really. So, instead, I'll just talk about some of my experiences in the area, and maybe talk about the area itself. Now, Southside Plaza is one of those shopping centers that I was never really dragged to as a kid. And I do wonder if Watown being the bad part of Winston-Salem has anything to do with that. Now, I was going to say that it's getting better and which parts you'd be relatively safe in, and which parts to avoid. Stay out of Green Oaks, by the way. But recently, I checked some of the numbers on Winston-Salem, and violent crime has risen dramatically in Winston-Salem according to 2022 crime statistics. And commuting regularly in the area, as well as hearing some of the gunfire at night on these streets, that doesn't surprise me. Granted, the real focus of those numbers are robberies and assaults, but for all intents and purposes, we are down there with Goldsboro. Although it could be worse. We could be Laurinburg or Lumberton. Now, with that aside, the people here are decent, for the most part. I could add about 3 asterisks, but we'd be here for like 20 minutes. And if you're ever in Winston-Salem, the food is pretty good, which does make the area a little bit better. Now, if you're thinking about moving here, the school system, as a product of the Winston-Salem Forsyth County Schools, I have just one thing to say about it. Avoid it! You are better off homeschooling your kid. And surprise, surprise, this does have a mall portion. Now granted, it's not very big at all, nor is it that interesting, but hey, it qualifies as an enclosed mall, much to the chagrin of those who believe it's only a mall when it has H&M and an Apple store. Now, there isn't a lot happening either, but given the region, sometimes what is there is just about all you need. Hell, I still found a place to shop here, so it can't be that bad, can it? Looking over the Southeast Plaza as it stands today, it does seem to be getting by with a mix of small format chains as well as locally run businesses. In fact, I recall one business in particular having loud parties into the night. But something else I am noticing is the lack of a prominent business to stand as an anchor. And I'm not talking about department stores like Sears or Macy's. No, for this area I would be looking more for a grocery store or even a discount store like Rose's or Gabe's. Well, there sort of is a discount store here, but that's a bit more like a salvage retailer. Well, there isn't much else to see at the Southeast Plaza. Let's get in the car and go to Asheville. And out here in Asheville stands the Grove Arcade. Before the word arcade brought about images of space invaders, millipedes, and skill games that turned out to be total scams, it used to mean something very different. And in this case, arcades were basically, best way I can describe them is proto-malls set in downtown. And arcades do still exist today, albeit more as urban business centers or in the form of alternative use or flat-out residential use. Grove Arcade's roots can be traced back to as early as 1926, when it was first constructed and later on completed in 1929. The building was meant to be a revival and cross between Gothic and Tudor architecture. Even the roof was complete with large ramps arranged to appear like a ziggurat amid other features. Plans were in the works to use the Grove Arcade as the base of a skyscraper, but these plans were never fully carried out. The building has been rumored to be one of the U.S.'s first ever shopping malls, ahead of many icons built in the 50s and 60s. And while it had gone through many iterations and uses over the years, it still stands today as a mixed-use center, with retail and dining on the bottom floor and then services and residential on the upper levels. In 1976, the Grove Arcade would be officially listed as a historic place on the National Register. In 1997, the city of Asheville would seize ownership under the National Monument Act and would sign a very, very long-term lease with the Grove Arcade Public Market Foundation, whom was founded to preserve the building's integrity both historically and structurally. With the building having fallen into neglect by that point, it'd take the group 5 years to restore the building before reopening it in 2002. I'll admit, I feel a bit underdressed at this place. It looks fantastic, and I feel like I need something formal and some dress shoes. Buildings like these come from a time when even a rectangular slab like this had a lot of care and attention to detail that went into its form. Just take a look at the smaller details that are still present in and around this building. Even the light fixtures are beautiful. I just wish we could see this style of architecture make a comeback. After all, the whole function of the form is to inspire. If you're ever in the Asheville area, do stop by and take a look at this place. My footage doesn't do it justice, but you already knew that. Until next time, Asheville, this is Doomie Grunt wishing you, and the Grove Arcade, and the Southeast Plaza in Winston-Salem, farewell, and good luck in the future. Yeah, looking back on those numbers, I'm starting to understand why I don't feel that uncomfortable in places like Baltimore or Cleveland.